What is happening, everybody? It's your buddy Aaron, and welcome back to another G35 video. I gotta give all of you guys a huge shout out. Yes, you guys at home sitting there watching this video right now, always hitting the like buttons, always commenting on the videos, always being there for your support, buying the merch. Huge shout out to all of you guys. The last video that I released of the G35 finally up and running, and the first drive, first start, and going through all of the headache, 32 minutes of G35 content. You guys left a storm of support on that video, and I gotta just give you guys that huge shout out. Thank you so much for all the support, and it's really you guys that's keeping this channel going and giving me the motivation and me the want to keep on pushing. Check out what your motivation did, guys. We got this engine pretty much built, retrieved out of the old crashed G35. We bought a new shell and we got it in there, man. I'm just super excited to get this thing out on the road and running good. And in order to do that, we're gonna be doing a couple things in this video to try and get the G35 dialed and at least drivable. Because right now, this thing is like a death trap. The day after I released that video, I went ahead and drove it to work because I was just super stoked to show everybody at work what I did, what I've been working on for the last 6 months. I got it there. It was kind of a hassle. I didn't want to drive faster than like 40 miles an hour. I can't really rev over 3,500, otherwise it just starts kind of choking. And everything is running super rich right now because there is a lot of old 93 still in the tank. When you guys switch to GTR injectors in your G35, if you don't want to tune it right away, you're gonna have to switch to E85. The GTR injectors are 30% bigger and E85 is about 35% more fuel volume, so it kind of evens out without a tune. So since I have those big injectors and I still have a bunch of old 93 still in the tank, it's kind of overloading the engine, and it's running way too rich right now. So in order for me to even it out just a little bit more, get a little bit more drivable before the E-tune, I'm gonna have to get the tank full of E85 and get all of that 93 out of there. There's a couple ways I can do this. If you guys have like an Autel scanner, you guys can connect it, one of those super like expensive scanners. You can turn on the fuel pump and let it pump out all of the gas. You can try to siphon as much as you can out of the gas tank like I did last time. I went from the rear seat where the fuel pump is, and I tried to siphon out as much as I could, but there's still more like on the lower portion of the tank that you can't really reach. So if you come over here and take a look at the passenger side of the plenum, you're gonna see these two bolts right here holding this fuel line. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and disconnect that, and I'm gonna hook up a hose to it, and I'm gonna have to bypass through a fuel relay that is under this cover, which I can just remove right now. And in this box right here is gonna be all your relays. So if you guys wanna know where all your relays are, that's where they are. So if you guys want to look and see what all your relays are, you guys can go ahead and pause this video right here. You can see that the fuel relay is going to be right there, pretty much the second one down on the right. That's a fuel pump relay. What I have to do is use a paper clip to bypass that relay, which is located right here. And this will pretty much like never tell the fuel pump to stop pumping, and it'll just keep on pumping out fuel until I disconnect the battery. So hopefully I can get most of the fuel out through this line and through the fuel pump method. And if you guys are doing this too, make sure that when you're pumping it out that you don't dry out the pump. You want to make sure there's at least a tiny bit of gas left in there, because if you dry out your pump, you know, that's our new Walboro pump that costs us 250 bucks. That would be sad. So I got my fuel tank over there. They're going to be siphoning out all the old fuel into that tank. This is pretty much the little siphon pump that I use to get most of the fuel out before. I'm just going to be using one of these tubes to go ahead and connect to that fuel line and get it into the can when the fuel pump is pumping it all out. I'm also going to be installing another starter in this video because when I took it to work that day, let's backtrack a little bit. When I installed that starter, I accidentally tightened the bolts too much and totally stripped the threads. So when I was putting everything back together for like a fourth time, the bolts weren't really in there very well, but I was way too excited. I said, F it, I'm just gonna go ahead and start the car, bring it to work, you know, see what happens. So, you know, I saw what happened. My starter pretty much fell out. I lost one bolt on my way to work, and then I lost the other bolt coming out of the garage. So I had to bump start the car to even get it started, because all I heard was when I was trying to start it up. So that was pretty interesting. Also, with the car not running very well, it wanted to stall on me at like 3 different lights. So I had to make sure I was rolling fast enough to pop the clutch and get that shit started again. It was a hassle, and I don't want to go through that again. So I have this old starter that I took out of the old G35. I don't know if you can see it. It's all the way back behind my passenger seat. It's an older starter, but it should be just fine. It was working fine before, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in there. The bolts aren't stripped, and I got 2 new bolts right here just chilling. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw those into the starter, and hopefully we don't have a starter falling out of our car, because that was not fun at all. So first things first, let's go ahead and jump on this fuel thing. Alright guys, the first thing I'm gonna do is take out these 2 10mm bolts for the fuel line. Alright, check it out. So you guys can see this little nipple right here that goes into that hard line down there. I'm gonna go ahead and connect my hose to this, and hopefully all the fuel will come out of this once I bypass the relay and turn the key. Alright, just barely got that hose to fit on there. Hopefully it's tight enough and it won't pop off. So I got it running all the way down here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the tank, hook it up. So this is gonna be the hard part because I couldn't find any information online on like which one is the right connectors, but I think it's these two connectors right here on the top of the relay. So pretty much we're gonna use this paper clip in the socket that this relay goes to connect, I think it's this one and this one right here. In some cases I do see people connecting the top one and this one right here. I guess I'm gonna have to experiment and see which one exactly it is, but I think these top two right here I'm gonna go ahead and connect together in the socket right there, and hopefully it jumps it. Let's see. Alright, as you guys can see, I got the two vertical connectors pretty much pinned together. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I'm not sure if I have to turn the key or if I just gotta put the battery in, so let's just see what happens. Hopefully nothing blows up. Okay, nothing happened yet. Okay, I'm gonna go put the key in. Let's see what happens. Okay, nothing. Alright guys, so that didn't work, so I'm gonna try and experiment a little bit more. I got that right connector still plugged into the same one, and I moved the left one to that other horizontal pin connector. So let's see what goes on. Still nothing. How about now? No. See, there goes a little bit, but it doesn't put enough. See, there goes more. But I'm not trying to like keep disconnecting my battery and connecting my battery. So I gotta figure something out here. Okay, how about now? No, nothing. What the hell? No? What the fuck? How about now? What the fuck? Alright, let's try it again. Oh shit! Oh shit, it's working! Alright, so I guess the original method that I had with those two vertical pins, I just had to adjust that paper clip a little bit so it's actually touching the connectors. And now our fuel pump is on continuously, not turning off, and it is pumping out all of our fuel. I am seeing bubbles come through here. Maybe I just let a lot of air into the system. I'm hoping it's not too many. They say don't do this for too long because you don't want to burn out the pump. I'm hoping the pump isn't getting that air. I wonder if that's coming in from somewhere else or if I just accidentally let all that air in there when I had this disconnected for so long. Let's go ahead and check the level of our gas. Wow, it actually is emptying fairly quickly. That's good because we were at like half a tank and I drove it to work and then it went to like just over a quarter tank, which is where it's at right now. Hopefully our tank is actually reading correctly all of our level sensors that are in there. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect it because I really don't want to burn out the fuel pump. Alright guys, so I just went ahead and put everything back together. I wanted to double check and make sure that I did get all of the fuel that can possibly go through the fuel pump, and I did. It's pretty much bone dry. I literally just checked and went ahead and removed the fuel pump assembly to check and see if I can actually siphon out some more gas through the tank, and I wasn't able to grab any. Looks like it's pretty dry, but it's still showing that I have a quarter tank on the gauge cluster, so I'm not sure if that wire was like, here, let's see if it's still at the same level. Yeah, so it's still showing like over a quarter tank of gas, and there's literally like nothing in it that I can siphon out. The fuel pump is not sounding too good. I probably should not have done that because it sounds like it's dry as fuck. So I'm hoping I didn't burn it out. I'm pretty sure on this driver's side, behind the driver's seat, I went and checked on the passenger side, but on the driver's side, I think there is another fuel level sensor that might be going bad, so I'm gonna have to check on that in the future. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and get the G35 on a jack stand so that I can take care of that starter. Alright guys, just to give you an idea of what's going on with my starter, this is the old starter out of this new chassis that I did buy for, to put the engine in. I have a newer starter, but I made a mistake and tightened these bolts down way too tight, and it stripped the threads inside of the starter housing. So this is the older starter. I found some bolts that fit perfectly in there. It's supposed to go right through the bell housing and the engine housing, and then right into the starter to keep it, to keep the starter up. So what happened was these bolts got stripped, they backed out, the starter's kind of fallen out. We're gonna see what the old starter looks like in the G right now. Check it out guys, so it's hard to see. We got the old starter right there, that bolt right there. That's the only bolt holding the starter, and there should be a second one right below it. It's hard to see though. As you can see, when I reach over to the starter, this shit just moves around. So yeah, let's get that bolt out and let's get our new one in. Check it out, guys. So we got our old slash new kind of starter out of the G35. Since these bolt holes were stripped and it started falling out, I guess the last couple times that I tried to start it really made it take a toll on the housing. Look at that crack that runs all up right here, all around the crank sprocket right there. So yeah, I guess I kind of tore this thing up. Too bad I don't have a receipt for it, so I can't return it to AutoZone, but yeah. Good thing we got our other starter in there. Now I can go ahead and lower the G35. Now the only thing left that we have to do is go pick up, I'm gonna try and pick up another fuel tank, because I got that 5 gallon. I'm trying to get another 5 gallon, fill them both up with E85, and come back here and fill up the tank. And hopefully I didn't burn out my brand new Walbro fuel pump. And I'm gonna see if the car runs a little bit better. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh yeah, I gotta situate everything with my subwoofer here in the SI. Let me know if you guys want a little installation tutorial of a subwoofer in the SI. That'd be pretty cool. I got my amp over here. Everything's kind of just laid out all over the place, but just load up our little tanks. I got this one little gallon tank from the one time that I ran out of gas in the G35, and I only ran out of gas because the little leveler was actually tangled in the fuel hose, and it read half a tank all the time. So yeah, I ran out of gas that day. Went and grabbed that little 1 gallon, filled it up, and took it to the gas station. So I have that. I have that. Honestly, it should be enough, but I just want to dilute as much 93 that's possibly stuck in there as possible. So I might just go and pick up another big tank like that. Plus, living here in Florida, it's always good to have a gas tank because hurricanes, you know? Alright, check it out, guys. So we got our 3 tanks right here. We're going to use this to fill up with our E85 flex fuel. It's only $2.15 a gallon right now. It's not too bad. I'm hoping we can actually get 5, 10, 11 gallons, hopefully. I'm trying to fill them up as best, you know, as most as I can. I'm going to try and fill them up the most that I can. And then I got to drive safely back home so none of it spills. So let's do this. Cheaper, cleaner, and American made. Alright, I got 5 gallons in there. Looks like there's extra room. Oh, it's spilling. Alright, that's not good. Hold on. Alright, guys, so it looks like we got just over 11 gallons. 11.2 gallons. 24 bucks, not terrible. Make sure everything's nice and tight, and then we're gonna go home and fill it up. Let's do it. Yo. Just stopped by a quick Japanese spot. Oops, I just fogged up the camera. Hold up. Just stopped at a little Japanese spot. I'm gonna go tear this up real quick, and then we're gonna jump back into it. Yes, sir. We are back home. Got the G35 right here. Gonna pretty much pop off this gas cap and start filling. Let's go. Better go get a chair. So I'm gonna be here for a fucking minute. This is gonna be fun. Definitely spilled a lot of gas. I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, clean it up so my garage doesn't blow up. Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and give it a start up with all the fresh E85 that's in there right now. Hopefully the car runs a little bit better. It's definitely gonna choke a little bit at first because there's probably some air in the system, so hopefully the fuel pump isn't fried. Let's go. That startup is so crazy. Looks like we got a decent tank right now. I don't even know how well that fuel gauge is even reading, so who knows. I love that cold start. It's crazy loud, but it sounds like it's doing okay. So hopefully when we get it warmed up, I'm gonna see if I can take it out for a little spin around the block. Hopefully I'll even be able to accelerate it because I was not able to do that before. Also looks like the old starter out the car with the blown motor is working pretty good. Let's go ahead and give it a few revs. Alright guys, so I got the UpRef software right here. I pretty much have the eTune scheme loaded so I can data log how the car is gonna react when I turn it on. And pretty much it's gonna log all the fuel trims and everything as far as like air and fuel, so that I can send it over to the tuner, have him look at it and see what he needs to adjust. So I'm just gonna set this over here on the passenger seat. Let's get the car warmed up a little bit and then we'll start recording it. I got my high beams on right now because one of the lights is out, so I gotta make sure I don't get pulled over on my own street. Wow, it's reacting so much better than it was. The idle is struggling a little bit though. It's way more drivable than before. Let's see. Yeah, for sure. Holy shit. This is nice. It's so much better. It for sure wants to stall though. It's not used to the cams. Oh my god, yo. I'm driving my G35, like it's actually drivable right now. Oh my god, this is nice, dude. The alignment is so off. I gotta install this controller. Oh fuck, my bad guys. Let's get a quick inspection real quick on it. Dude! Man, I can't even see you out here, bro. Who that? Oh my god! Unbelievably loud. Oh my god! Gunshots, boy. Holy shit, I can't believe it. Oh, it almost died. Wow, bro, that sounds like a jet, dude.
Dude, that was fun. I want to drive this bitch.
Dude, hell yeah, we will. So it's actually the next day right now, so we got a little bit of daylight. I fixed a couple little kinks on the car. Sorry about that bad microphone. I'm using that GoPro mic, so I just want to show you guys that super view, first person view of getting this thing rolling. So I was able to get that Z1 valve put in. I went ahead and bled the system. I got a new lower oil pan and drain bolt on there today. Filled up the oil. Let's go for a ride. Fun, guys, and the tune actually still works. Check it out. actually, I got some good news because I went ahead and used my laptop. I hooked up the OBD2, the UpRev software, and I got some logs for it last night. I sent it over to my tuner, and he says that we are good to just drive it all the way to Tampa, which is a 4-hour drive, and get it tuned on the dyno by Martin over at RS Enthalpy. Super stoked at the way that this thing is coming out. I am like, I'm in awe right now. Like my whole last like week has been just so positive and like uplifting, and reading all of your guys' comments, seeing all your guys' story replies to my Instagram, killer. If you guys aren't following, by the way, I do put a little bit more sneak peeks of what's gonna come out in the YouTube videos, so go follow me, G35. Make sure you guys smash that like button because we are ripping the G35 once again, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Yo dude, sorry about that terrible audio from the GoPro at the end there, but as you guys can see, we got the G35 running nice and solid again. It's actually drivable now. I'm stoked to get this thing on the dyno, but dyno day is still a little ways away because we still have a lot of things to go ahead and fine tune. Make sure you guys smash that like button for getting the G35 running and ripping again. And if you guys want to support this build, head over to DoubleASupply.com, check out the G35 merch, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace.